welcome back. Let's get some stuff done this afternoon. But first off, we've been dropping a little bit of content on the classic cars, the abandoned car stuff. And then what was it, the week before, there was a period where we were doing, well, like the F-150, the Duramax. You know, there was videos like 1 week of kind of the same topic. So for all the new guys, you have to understand that we pretty much do a video every single day. I try to do it about 20 minutes. That's about what I shoot for. I work just like everybody else. I can't put out a video every single day, 20 minutes with decent entertaining progress on this car. Can't do it on Randy's car. Can't do it on nothing like that. I mean, it's not gonna happen. So it's kind of, I try to put out interesting stuff or helpful stuff. I never try to put out boring stuff. But I just want to let everybody know that there will be times where we'll be on the same topic for 3 days. When we built the wing on this car, I think it was 3 or 4 videos long. So it was 3 or 4 days worth of stuff. I try to be respectful, and like the abandoned car stuff, I already had 2 more videos edited down and I have spaced them out. That way it's not so much back to back of the same topic. So the abandoned car stuff, one set premiere for coming up, and then we got one more where I'm going to reveal the prices that a lot of them cars went for. Then they're done. That topic's done. That topic will never surface again for years on that thing. So some of these videos will be in and out and they'll come and go. And you know, the other week I felt bad for everybody because, dude, we were just updating the Comet like every single day for like a week straight, and I felt like that was just boring because there's just not a ton of content. But I've had people give feedback that say, dude, you just opening a package helped me, you know, I never thought about buying that, or I never thought about that, or whatever. You know, I've got a couple people that have helped with the used NASCAR AN lines, stuff like that. So I mean, you never know in the video what small topic might fit you or might help you. So I just want to let everybody know that just because you subscribe and you're seeing certain videos back to back to back, don't mean that's what the topics are going to be on all the time. So it's kind of more of a vlog on what I'm doing. So when we're on the race trailer, it might be 1 to 3 videos on the race trailer. You know, we're on the Comet, but you got to think about everything that we got coming up. So stick with us, ride with us, as Sammy says. So if you haven't seen Sammy's channel, go check it out. Boost is my friend. I watch all his stuff. But sometimes we'll be on the same topic, man. So maybe 1 week won't be for you, but the next week will be. So let's jump into what we're doing tonight. Let me show you. So we're going to build up a simple plate, super simple, not going to bore y'all with it, to mount the fuel pump. We're going to go ahead and get the fuel pump mounted under the car this afternoon and get the fuel lines that we purchased and all that hooked up. So all I'm going to do is whack this off real fast. We're going to go ahead and drill this for nut certs. I'm going to go ahead and put some nut certs in it so that the fuel pump bracket will bolt right to it, and weld this into the car, and then hit it with a little rattle can probably while it's hot so that it immediately dries, and throw the fuel pump in, hook the fuel pump lines in, and check off the fuel system on the back of the car. And then I'm thinking that we'll throw in the firewall patch probably and move underneath the hood to throw back in the intake manifold. We'll see though. I know we're definitely about to do this. So let's get this cut up and get this in the car. All right, so there's what we end up with. So remember, we already had this line in there. I welded that plate. Don't worry about my ghetto oversized washers. That's just the scrap I had laying around that would fit. And then here's our new hose, and it runs over and it literally works out perfect. So that's how it looks. So that bend that was on that line literally worked out perfect for what we needed. So this comes from our fuel cell inside the vehicle, comes into our fuel filter. Our fuel filter goes up to the front of the vehicle, and then this one comes out of our, this one comes from our normal fuel pump, okay, the fuel hat style that's inside the vehicle, goes in there, shoots it up front, and then under boost will feed off the sump in the bottom, and the big boy will kick in and it will shoot up front under boost. So this thing will be getting fed plenty of fuel whenever it is under boost. All right, I want y'all's feedback right now in the comment section, middle of this video. We're time-lapsing a couple things, and I have been going for weeks now practically without putting much time-lapse at all in the videos, and just trying to give y'all a solid 20 minutes of volume and of value. And that way you maybe learn something. Is the time-lapse good where you can kind of see the progress quick, or just leave the time-lapse out? Y'all are the ones that watch. Y'all are the ones that exit out of the video when you see certain things. Let me know what you think. Should we mix in some time-lapse, or just the time-lapse is kind of just not even needed? We're gonna move on. I'm gonna, I guess, go ahead and throw this patch panel in the car and the intake manifold. I feel like as soon as I do this, I'm gonna kick myself in the tail and regret doing it, but I can't really think of a reason why 100%. I just feel like that's what's gonna happen. So we're gonna throw the intake in and probably get the pressure sensor up here on top of the radiator put on. So here's our eBay fitting that we had on. Now I paid about $15 for this fitting. It's an ORB to, what is that, -10 or -8. Anyway, when I installed it right here at this joint, it had a extreme amount of play. So it probably played like this much. It probably had like this much play. It was pretty bad. I've unscrewed it, took it back out, and now like it's literally tight as can be. I don't know what's going on with that one. I ordered another one, name brand one, so that was like 15. This one was like 35 or 30. Figured that maybe the name brand one would fix this problem. The other one that I have on the car was a name brand also. I can't remember. Let's see if it pick up right there, XRP. That one fit amazing. Like, it was ridiculously tight fit. So we're gonna put this one on, even though I'm not gonna toss this one, because now that it's out of the car, it has no place. I don't know if it just had to seat itself, but I was just afraid that with this being fuel, that if it had play in it, then obviously, you know, that could be prone to a leak. So I'm not very comfortable with this one. I'm not gonna just skimp on everything. You know, some things I will go ahead and redo and purchase something a little nicer, but we're not gonna throw it away because maybe we'll use it on water or something like that. So we're gonna get this fitting installed in there and then get our fuel rails and our intake and everything hooked back up. So this one basically has the same thing going on. So I'm guessing maybe that's just the nature of the beast. So if you look right there, that amount of play. Now this is a swivel. Both of these are really tight. This one is not really a swivel. This is a very expensive fitting. I probably should have ordered the same name brand, but this was a name, this was a name brand. From what I gather on the internet, that brand is not like junk. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody can correct me. But everything I gathered, you know, people were like bragging about using that name brand. Maybe they're both cheap junk. I don't know. Kind of debating on if I should wait to put this together or not. But I mean, all of them lines have play too, you know, because they're all pivots. And I know these are name brand. I mean, these fittings right here are name Brown and Miller's, pretty sure. They have play. So maybe that's just the nature of it being a swivel. You know, maybe it's perfectly fine. I just did not like that play right there. I guess we're gonna rock and roll and put it together and just hope for the best. All right, so as you can see, we got the intake put back on. Fuel lines are hooked up, intake's back on, everything's ran through the firewall that's needed. I did not put that panel on because I know as soon as I do, I'm gonna need to get in there, actually do the Holly harness. So your Holly harness gets also grounded to the head of the motor. and, well, engine, I should probably say that before I get scolded. And I forgot to do that. So I do have to take the wire and ground it to the head, the back of the head right there. But it makes it easy because of the hole we cut in the firewall and the access panel. So I can go through later on and do that. But let me flip the camera around real fast. I'll just show you what we got real fast. So there's everything put back together. And as you can see, man, I'm really pretty satisfied with my wiring. This is coolant thing, so we still have that put up. I mean, you don't really see too much of the wiring. You can see it's all tucked down in the valley. The fuel lines are all tucked back. Alternator hasn't been ran yet, but that's going to get ran underneath there. All of these pigtails go right in this area. So you have the IAC, MAT, and then the throttle position sensor. So all of that pretty much goes right in this area. My mind's blank right now on all of them. Oh, okay, because the throttle position sensor we have to rewire. Yeah, so throttle position sensor's there. IAT was up here, and then the MAT will go in the bottom of the charge pipe. So we do need to redo that wiring, but all that's right there. And that's gonna be tucked up nice and neat. Let's see here. Yeah, the MAT will fit literally perfect right there. So you're barely gonna see that wiring at all. And then these go, let's see here. Let's go ahead and hook these up. IAC, TPS. So TPS will be right here. It will just get rewired. And then our IAC, what is it? The IAC, which I don't even think we need, honestly, from everything I have researched and everything that I have seen, is we don't need the IAC. So it goes like that. So you literally won't see like any wires practically. This is just a pigtail sitting on there. Like I said, it gets rewired. We've got a pressure sensor that we haven't installed that's going to go here. So them wires will get hid somewhere, somehow. Honestly, the coolant overflow line goes through that way to the back. So we'll probably bring the pressure sensor out here. We'll probably bring that wire routed around, and the overflow also will get curved. So we'll probably bring the overflow, the wire, and everything to right here. The overflow goes into this tank, and then we'll catch the wire with the overflow line that goes to the puke tank and zip tie the wire to the line that goes back to the puke tank to carry it inside the car where it'll split off. So you won't see no wiring up here. Like I said, all that gets tucked. Alternator will be super easy to hide and run underneath there. Yeah, so that's like it. And then the blow off valve, we're gonna have the plastic coupling that comes out of there. I have to figure out where that goes. I know that the fuel pressure regulator is boost reference right there. And I know that has something to do with boost. So this is where I don't know 100% what I'm doing, guys. So I figure it out as I go. If you want to leave in the comments to help me out. If not, I will do my research accordingly, because I don't expect anybody to do anything for me. But I have to figure out where this goes and where that goes, or if them two just route together. If them two just route together, then it will be pretty simple to shoot that straight down and jump it over to the coolant lines and then run it, snake it straight up nice and neat under there so it's not seen. But I don't know if that's right. I really don't feel like that's right. I don't know. Something's telling me that's not right. So I'll figure it out. Yeah, that gets plugged into the grill. We do got the water pump down there that gets a wire, but it's down so low, obviously we're not coming up here through it. So we might honestly go down bottom of the frame rail and catch it with this so that there's one bundle running in that way. Or I just thought about this, already gonna have to change stuff up. We will wire that into our plug that's up in here if we have room. So it looks like, I can't remember, man, of course I put the fender back on. I can't remember if I have two blanks in there or not. I think I do. If I have two blanks in our plug up there, then I will take that back out of the car. This is where it comes in handy that you can easily take it out of the car, because I can take the wheel off and then hit the 3 screws on it, pull the plug out, take it to the bench, fold the wiring harness down here and work on it right here. If so, we will go ahead and I guess run our water pump through there, because I know that's a really nice quality connector that will carry some amperage. But I think the water pump needs to be on a relay. And if so, then we'll maybe just carry our trigger wires through there and then maybe put a relay up here near it very discreetly somehow, so that it's all in the same location. Or maybe not, maybe just put it in the car. I don't know. I'm thinking about just catching that wire, if it does need a heavier gauge with the relay, catching it with the alternator, because it's going to be decent, and running all of them together, you know, them two right there, snaking them all together. I'm gonna keep it clean. So hopefully y'all like the wiring. I do. I think it's nice and tucked and hid. I'm not happy with my fuel lines, so I can tell you that if I ever change anything, that would be, you know, for sure. So to take the intake off, what I have to do is I have to undo the fuel rails right here, because Holly conveniently puts one of your screws like basically under the fuel rail that you can't get to. So you have to unclamp the fuel rail, kind of tilt it out the way to get the 3 screws out to take that out. And then being my fuel lines are on the car, I have to unhook all 4 of the fuel line connectors to take it out of the car. I'm very unhappy with that. So what will be happening sometime in the future is basically probably whenever I go to, if I ever replumb it, which I'm sure I will at some point, I'm thinking we will tie the fuel rails together, the fuel lines together, basically with a Y underneath the intake, which is what I wanted to do originally. Right now the Y is on the back, and then there is a Y underneath, but tie them together, no, it's on the fuel pressure regulator and on the back. Basically, I will be bolting the fuel pressure regulator to the intake and tying the lines into the regulator, and then tying the rears into it where they're mounted on the fuel or the intake manifold also, and basically have a long pigtail that goes down under the car. And then that way all you have to do is get under there and basically unhook 2 lines, and then unhook your connections up here, and then pull this whole thing out with all your jet injectors in it, all your fuel lines still hooked up in it and everything. So all you'll have to do is unhook 2 fuel lines versus unhooking 4 connections right now. But like I said, Holly makes it hard with the stupid fuel rails, how you have to literally move the fuel rails a little bit out of the way anyway. So, but that wouldn't be as bad if the fuel lines could stay hooked up. So right now you just have to unhook all that to get it out. So just thinking out loud. And another thing y'all that had a question about that I've not figured out is this. I'm guessing this is vacuum off the throttle body. I don't think I need that. So comment below if you know for sure if I need that or not. Well, I guess if you're pulling the intake, you also have to unhook your throttle cable, which I have not even hooked up yet. I have it somewhere, but I have not done it. But what should I do with this bad boy? Because the intake has 3 other open ports in the bottom side of it. So I feel like this just needs to be cut off, honestly, and a little, like, cut it short, like to here, like maybe right here, and then put a little plug over it. Or we could have even pulled it out, tapped it, and put a set screw in there, because I don't think that's needed. And like I said, I don't think this is needed. I'm pretty sure that your IAC, let me make sure I'm getting that right. Yeah, your IAC, I'm pretty sure a lot of Coyote guys are removing that. I actually messaged a pretty big Coyote guy and he never hit me back. So anyway, that's going to be a wrap for tonight. Let me know if y'all have any questions, or if you have any advice on any of that stuff in the comments below. And as always, like and comment. Y'all probably already subscribed. If you're not, subscribe. That way you can always be notified whenever we post another video, and turn on the notification button. And I will catch y'all on the next one. Let me know if we need to make any changes also to these videos. We're starting to really grow, and I really want to make sure that we're all on the same page and we're all on board. I do these for y'all, not necessarily for me. I want to help y'all. So if there's anything that you feel like we could lose, then let me know. I can take constructive criticism perfectly fine. So, and I would love to improve. One of y'all even did a lot of recommendations and commented some things that you would love to see. I loved your ideas. That was in the comments. We chatted back and forth. I loved everything you said, but putting out 1 video a day makes it really hard to up the quality, I guess, of the video as far as on the editing aspect. Right now it is 10:38. Turbo John is on the computer. It's on the live chat. We're Wednesday night, and it's 10:38, and I still have to. Didn't it look like he was waving? and I still have to go shower and edit videos for y'all. So it makes it really hard to do these super nice edits that some of these channels do. A lot of channels that do the super really high-end nice edits, they either have people working for them or they only do one a day or one every 2 or 3 days. If I was doing this full time, one day maybe I will be doing this full time, it'd be amazing. Then what I could actually do is, of course, do my recording and then designate 1 to 2 hours during the day in the morning hours or whatever to edit my videos and get them out to y'all and actually have sit down time. Right now I work out here till 10, 11 o'clock at night, and then I have to be at work at 8 a.m. in the morning, and we have to do paint and body stuff all the way to 5 afternoon. Come home 5 to 7 I spend with Harper and the wife, and then 7 to however late I can go, I work on the car most every night. So that's a wrap. See you on the next one. Thanks.